Yo, check this out. This is Chuck D.
And this is Flavor Flav.
And you are tuned to...
That's right, the Hard Knocks, baby.
Hard Knock TV, public enemy #1.
Boy.
Bass in your face, not an 8-track, getting it good to the wood. So the people give you some of that reacting to the facts that I kick in a stick, get a stay around, point to the joint, put the Buddha down.
There's a lot of talk these days about major artists leaving record labels, but you're actually one of the first to do it in the late 90s when you left Def Jam. Can you talk about why it was important for you to do so?
In 1998, it was just time to leave. Rick Ruben had left in '89, and Russell and everybody had ventured off to somewhere else, and we saw no way to grow and also be part of the new phase, which is the internet. We started publicenemy.com in 1998, longest running internet situation for a rap artist. Beastie Boys started before us, and I think that's it. You can do something innovative, but if you don't have people on the other side to be able to present it and catch it with the technology, then you could be, okay, on your mark, get set, go, yeah, but you're in the desert. So make that long story short, we left Def Jam in 1998, but we put things in place to ease us into the transition of the millennium and knew that the big companies would try to seize that because they felt that it cannibalized their industry, and now it's an afterthought when people say, oh yeah, I'm gonna get online and I'm part of this thing and I'm with iTunes and all that, and it's just like second nature, especially artists that have grown up in it. But with us, we had to figure out like where we were gonna be, where we came from, and how would that also gel with the thing that we do, physically being live in front of an audience. At the end of the day, your recording is a business card for your performance. It has to advertise who you are. So we are not going to be defined by our recording. We're going to be defined by us making recordings. And that's one thing we had to totally flip into after 1999. We will make this recording won't make us. But we had 10 years under our belt too, in our favor.
Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. As an equal, can I get this through to you? My 98 booming with a trunk of funk. All the jealous punks can't stop the dunk. Coming from the school of hard knocks.
I heard that your writing process starts with you thinking of the title of the song, and then you create. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the process of writing a song for you?
You just said it. Come up with a title, it's like a roadmap. You know your destination. See, sometimes it might work where you say, oh, I got this idea, but I don't know what this idea is, so I'm going to write. I don't waste words. There's not a lot on the cutting room floor when you come up with a title. You should talk about a song before you write it. Can we have a conversation of what the hell you're talking about? And then can you put it into words? And then can you put it into a song? And then it's truncating and editing. Because, sometimes you might have an idea, and this is why it's key to work together with producers and work together with somebody who's going to have the governing authority to make a song out of it. You got to make a song out of lyrics and music. Then, so that's where it starts. It starts from the idea. Sometimes you can write aimlessly and end up in a place, but that's a waste of time to me. I was like, wow, we're going to talk about this, find a great title, and just try to figure out how you breadcrumb people into listening.
Caught in the middle end, not surrendering. I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. Some claim that I'm a smuggler. Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar, false media. We don't need it, do we?
One of my favorite lines of yours is, I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. Can you speak about writing with purpose?
Well, I feel that when you're gonna write a song, you better write about something. I'm not opposed to people that make singles, because a single is what hits your mind, so you're gonna go about it. If you commission to make an album, you can't talk about the same thing over 8 songs. I mean, you can, and you have artists that do it, but just because you could get away with it doesn't mean you should do it, because it's lazy and it's gonna cut into your artistry. Some people can get away with it, very few can get away with it, most people can't. So when it comes down to writing a song that means something, I think every song should be able to nail its subject. Even if you're writing about, you're writing about booty, be good at writing it. I mean, yeah, Doing it over 10 songs, you better be a connoisseur, you know? But, you know, it's you gotta write about something. It's like, I mean, especially in rap, you gotta really seriously fill your words with something. You gotta say something. Because I ask people this all the time. They tell me, well, I'm into this because I like the beat. So the words don't mean anything. Nah, not really. So would you mind hearing it in French? Nah, I don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it in another language because they spit in other languages too. Nah, you know, why? You said the words didn't matter. Well, you know, I got to hear something. So people don't really, you know, so you got to really kind of like, in the language they listen to, make it riveting so they'd be like, okay, yeah, okay, that touched me. That's my philosophy.
Can you talk a little bit about Hank Shockley and the Bomb Squad and how that was critical to crafting the sound of P?
You know, the whole thing with the Bomb Squad is trying to do something that nobody else was doing. See, we come from DJ culture and we came from radio shows. So we knew what people weren't doing. And then we were also commissioned to make albums. So you're gonna make an album, you better make sure your subjects are varied and spread apart, and you gotta come up with, you can't deliver the same song all the time. So we reached into certain sonic forays because we felt we had the available time to dare and do anything, because you got 12 tracks to try it. And all of us knew music, and Hank is a sonic genius. And so when it came down to being able to figure out where we're gonna go, Hank, Eric, myself, Keith, later on Gary G. Wiz, Flavor, Terminator, Bill Stepney, and then later on people like Kerwin Young and Paul Shabazz. You know, everybody had a great body of knowledge on sonics behind them to be able to be strung together. Nobody came in saying, okay, I'm a rap fan and the only thing I know is rap music. No, everybody was a fan of music. So when I saw John Dinsmore today, it's like, wow, okay, you know, yeah, I'm a geek like that into the sonics of it, into the Doors. So I'm old like that, number one, and a geek like that because I was able to comprehend it with the age that I'm at. See, I'm born in 1960, so I remember when the Doors came out when I was 7 or 8 years old. It's different than somebody like, wow, that was way before I was born. It doesn't mean that they can't get into the vibe, but when you actually remember as a kid when they came out, I mean, I remember as a kid, I remember when the Rolling Stones came out with Satisfaction. As a kid, I remember when we were running around the house and the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. We all used to sing that as kids. So, I mean, that's a whole different thing other than going and like, okay, let me go into reading back how the vibe was. So it's a little bit of a combination. And then we're gonna make rap records too. So those combinations all came out because we had a little edge on being older, and we had a little edge on working together too, because it was a bunch of us. So we was able to have ideas. And then at the end of the day, Hank was always able to make a perfect mix of it, of the noise. It wasn't just throw noise on top of it, no. It had to be, Eric would make sure it was in tune. Sometimes we had to fight, make sure maybe it was out of tune purposely. So the Bomb Squad exactly was what it was. It was the assembly line that people talk about with Motown. It was the assembly line on hip hop production when it wasn't like that before.
The Bomb Squad crafted a sample-heavy sound. Do you think with all the sampling, clearing legalities of today's music, do you think that could survive in today's music landscape?
Yeah, even more so than then, because now most music is under the radar and you won't have people coming around trying to suck them dry. You know, I mean, they come up with all these clever ways to try to prevent sounds from going out there. Like, the government does the same thing. It's like if you're good at coming up with counterfeit money that can't be detected, then they find you. Like, you know, come go with me, that movie. It's like they get you like, oh, this guy's, you know, he's dodging all our, you know, our security options. So we're gonna arrest him, threaten his life, and he'll end up working for us to bust all these other people out there. Same thing in music. It's all right, we'll get him, pay him a lot of money, this kid that's good at pirating, work for Google or YouTube, and then come up with a fingerprint system that's able to detect sound. I mean, so it's a game. So if you're gonna sample, make sure that you always have to make sure you was clever. I mean, Public Enemy of the Bomb Squad, we knew the game that we was in, so it wasn't just like, everything wasn't blatant like that. You know, you just can't, you know, after we did sampling, cutting bits and pieces and playing music, then people thought that sampling was just taking everything. And I'm like, well, you know, this was a combination of different factors that made this track, not just taking a dope track and rhyming over it, which worked for a lot of people too. Yeah, I took this and I rhymed over it. Give me my money. So obviously you're gonna have people gonna try to get their money.